We, a group of 42, along with our guides, cooks, and supporting staff, and the Chinese driver, continued our journey in two buses and a car through stunning landscapes, finally reaching Lake Manasarovar by 3 pm. The excitement was palpable, and the moment we caught the first glimpse of the lake, our moods were instantly elevated. Yet another checkpoint at the Mansarovar lake. While our guides went ahead to arrange the necessary permissions, we found ourselves standing still, eyes fixed on the horizon. It was here that we caught our first glimpse of Mount Kailash. Even from a distance, the presence was overwhelming, silent, majestic, eternal. Each of us instinctively whispered our own prayers, seeking blessings in that moment of awe. And then, as if to hold on to this gift, everyone paused to capture it in photographs and videos, a memory to cherish forever. At this point, we were told we might need to shift to another vehicle, but luckily, we were allowed to continue in our own buses. From here, the road turned very bumpy, slowing down our progress. Lake Manasarovar is a sacred lake, and it lies at an altitude of 4,590 meters, above 15,000 feet. It is almost perfectly round, stretching about 88 or to 93 kilometers in circumference, with a maximum depth of nearly 90 meters. The turquoise blue waters are fed by the glaciers of Mount Kailash, making it one of the highest freshwater lakes in the world. For us in Hindu tradition, it's considered the abode of purity, believed to have been created in the mind of Lord Brahma. Bathing in its waters and even touching the lake is said to wash away sins of many lifetimes. For Buddhists, it is associated with spiritual enlightenment, while for Jains and Bon traditions too, it holds deep significance. Through much of the Parikrama, we could see Mount Kailash towering in the distance, its presence guiding and blessing our journey. The plan was to complete a major portion of the Parikrama today, reach our guest house for the night, and then finish the remaining treks the next morning before heading towards Darchen. We took a short break on the way and stepped down to the banks of Manasarovar Lake. The water was icy cold as we dipped our hands and feet, just taking in the calm and quiet around us. The sky was a perfect blue initially, but soon we could see dark clouds slowly moving in from one side. However, that evening there was a sudden change in weather. Though it was full moon day, clouds rolled in, the temperature dropped sharply, and the rain came down with heavy winds. Dinner that night was lovingly prepared by our cooks, who throughout the journey ensured that we had tasty vegetarian food served hot, a blessing in the cold, high altitude conditions. Our much awaited full moon reflections on Lake Manasarovar were hidden behind the clouds. Still, a group of us waited by the lakeside from 2 to 4 a.m., hoping to witness some divine activity in the sky. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Yet, no one was disappointed. Because the magnificent darshan of Mount Kailash we had on arrival still lingered in our hearts. Next morning, our guides arranged for everyone to bathe in the waters of Manasarovar. Since the Chinese government has prohibited direct bathing in the lake to preserve its purity, the water was fetched and warmed for us. After the bath, prayers were held at the guest house, filling the morning with devotion and gratitude. The next morning, before we set out, some members of our group took time to help shores of Manasarovar Lake, picking up bits of plastic and waste left behind by earlier visitors. It felt like a small act of giving back, keeping the sacred waters and its surroundings as pure as possible. Watching them, I felt how this pilgrimage is not only about receiving blessings, but also about showing respect to the land that carries us. With a little spare time, two friends and I slipped away to visit a nearby monastery. The drizzle and low oxygen levels were making me slow. The pull of the monastery was strong. Inside, the stillness and flickering butter lamps gave us a moment of calm before returning to join the group. First, we set off towards Darchen, continuing along the side of Mansarovar. At one point, a vehicle ahead of us broke down, delaying us, but it only gave us more time to soak in the serene beauty. Friendly Tibetans, always quick to smile and wave, seemed to carry the same calm energy as the mountains and waters around them. Their simple gestures brightened our hearts, making us feel welcome to this remote, sacred land. Soon, Lake Manasarovar slipped out of sight, and the mountains began to dominate the horizon. By afternoon, we reached Darchen under a cloudy sky. After settling into our guest house, my friend and I went out. She confessed her worry about whether she could manage the trek. Just as she shared her concern, someone in front suddenly exclaimed they had spotted Mount Kailash. We turned back to look and saw a brief before it vanished again. Perhaps it was a blessing, a sign for her, and indeed it was, because she went on to complete the entire Parikrama on foot, one among the 16 out of 42 who did so. And here at Darchen, we are waiting for the next day when the true Parikrama of the Kailas begins.